Welcome everybody, my name is Michael. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are discussing about why Bitcoin will go to $100,000. It's unknown if it's going to hit that this year. It just might. It might go over $100,000, maybe to $150,000. JP Morgan Chase's report said $146,000 is their prediction. We've had other banks such as Citibank report past $250,000, but they've also given a wide range, so between $100,000 and $250,000 plus. Then there's people who are just the outliers saying, oh yeah, it's going to $1 million, but there's been people saying it's going to $1 million since 2016. It's good to always keep your head on the ground and understand that yes, it's fantastic. We've hit peak all-time highs of $42,000 with Bitcoin. Currently, the price is around $39,500 as of recording this video, and we have a good chance of hitting $50,000, which is halfway to that huge psychological barrier of $100,000. But there's one thing that we have to understand. Bitcoin is a long-term investment. We shouldn't care if we're going to hit $100,000 or even $50,000 within the next day, week, month, year even, because if you're invested in cryptocurrencies, kind of like a mutual or index fund, you put money in and you hope to double your money. You understand that there is a chance you could lose your money, maybe not all of it, but you could lose a fair portion of it. You have to understand that panic selling creates a lot of confusion. And even if you're not panic selling, if we're in a bear market, other people are panic selling and suddenly you might be thinking of selling. And then there's FUD all around, fear, uncertainty, doubt. This is a long-term process. Just like with these funds, you have to think like Warren Buffett with Berkshire Hathaway. Maybe we're not going to go 30, 40, 50 years into the future, but even thinking 10 years ahead is always good. How did poor people think? They think about tomorrow. They think about what can they do today. How do the rich think? What can they plan out for the next 5, 10 years? And they understand that plans are just that. They're due for changes, and when changes arrive, they just modify these plans, and that's perfectly okay. But today we're going to explore 3 simple facts that prove Bitcoin will reach $100,000 into the future, just based off of the past history alone. First of all, we're over $1 trillion market cap with all of the cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin, as of a few days ago, earlier this week, Bitcoin has transferred more money than every single gold bar on the planet throughout its network in terms of value. Bitcoin's cumulative adjusted transfer volume in the trillions of dollars has surpassed gold with $10 trillion plus dollars. Over $10 trillion traded without a bank. Technically, I mean, banks were involved because people were using bank accounts to purchase Bitcoin, but it's just something to think about, and we're steadfast approaching $12 trillion. If we look at the past, back in 2015, we didn't even hit $1 trillion, and in 2016, we broke the $1 trillion cumulative adjusted transfer volume barrier. In 2017, over $2 billion, and then over $4 billion. In 2018, over $6 billion, and towards the end of the year and towards the very beginning of 2019, over $8 billion of transfer volume. And as of 2020, we broke $9 trillion. And towards the end of 2020 and the very, very beginning of 2021, we have broken over $10 trillion. Now, the second fact that we're going to look at is Bitcoin has transferred, as of a few days ago, looking at the amount of transactions, or looking at the value of these transactions, researchers calculated that Bitcoin transferred $859,375 on average every second across the planet. That is a huge amount. We're approaching $1 million in transaction value every single second. Another thing that we have to look at is Bitcoin's halving countdown. We have 1,150 days and 11 hours till the next countdown. And as of last year, we had the third halving. In 2024, approximately in March, on the 11th, but this date can change, such as it has changed already in 2020. This is because we don't know the exact date that we will strike, because it depends on how many blocks remain. A block gets mined approximately every 10 minutes, and currently there remain 173,777 blocks till the next halving countdown. So what is the next Bitcoin halving or halvening? That is when the miner's block reward gets halved. In 2012, the first halvening happened, where the amount of Bitcoins that miners received suddenly dropped from 50 BTC to half of that, which was 25 BTC. 4 years later, in 2016, it dropped to 12.5 BTC. And as of last year, we went from 12.5 to 6.25 BTC per block. Now, of course, as the value of Bitcoin rises, this is the inflation-proof model. Over time, the miners get a similar reward, or it actually grows in value because there is a total cap limit for how much BTC there is. While with dollars, and even for other cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, there is no cap really. In 2024, the reward's going to drop from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. Now, how much is 6.25 Bitcoin at the current moment? That is $226,402.50. Using the price, the latest price of $39,133.10 as of the 14th of January, so yesterday's price. Now, what's the significance of this halvening? Basically, around each halvening, a few months before, people get really excited, and usually just based off of the past history alone, we've only had 3 halvenings, but based off of this history, usually there's a lot of chaos right before and during the halvening, but the next few months, usually there is a bull market. So even if there's going to be crypto winter, whenever it starts, whether it starts this year, next year, 2 years from now, it might be short, it might be long, but the probabilities are that we are going to return to a healthy cycle where it goes from a bull market to a bear market and back to a bull market, most likely by the time of the next Bitcoin halvening, just due to inflation, when Bitcoin's mining reward will go in half. In order for miners to be successful and profitable, Bitcoin will have to go up in value, and just based off of speculation, alongside external factors such as the dollar and whatever's happening around at the world at the same time, we might see Bitcoin's value rise. Now, if we didn't hit $100,000 this cycle, we might hit it next cycle. The halvening happens every 210,000 blocks. We are well on our way towards 2024 already. If we look at the past, in 2012, price on halving day, when it was 50 BTC to 25 Bitcoin per block, it was $12.35. And the price 150 days later was $127. In 2016, the price on halving day was $650.63 from 25 Bitcoin to 12.5 Bitcoin. And 150 days later, from $650, we went up to $758.81. In 2020, we went from 12.5 to 6.25 BTC, and the price on halving day was $8,821.42. 150 days later, still has not happened, but we are very, very close to that. And as you can see, just using the current price from 8,800, we reached 42,000 and are now chilling at above $39,000 with predictions to hit $50,000 around the corner. So one of the last facts that you have to factor into all of this, when will Bitcoins suddenly stop being mined? By the year of 2140, we will have all BTC mined. And of course, there's always going to be some Bitcoin here and there that just gets lost, or people die and they forget their passwords or whatever, which is also going to help with the price of Bitcoin rising as Bitcoin will become rarer and rarer. But more than 98% of Bitcoin will be mined by the year 2030, which is not so far away, which we will get to in our lifetime, which is only a few years away. It's 2021. That's less than 9 years away, with 2 more Bitcoin halvings in between then. If we haven't reached $100,000 by then, I don't know what's happened. By then, we might have hit $500,000 or $1 million. It's good to stay realistic right now, but if you look at the way long term, of course, Bitcoin has only had 12 years of existence so far. But give it another 9 and you might understand where we're heading towards. And I'm going to end this video off with just this headline that we are going to make a video on in the future, either on this channel or on Kubera. The Congressional Budget Office predicts U.S. debt levels will surpass 100% in GDP in 2021, and by 2050 reach 200% of the GDP levels, where as of 2020, it was just 16% of the GDP. And we have now a $1.9 trillion stimulus package, where last year we had trillions of dollars in stimulus packages. Yeah, inflation's going to rise. There's going to be tax consequences. So Bitcoin has a booming future. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave that like button, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And we shall see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining in on these daily uploads. Bye.